Hey, what's up, Aaron here? Hope you're doing well. If you're watching this video right now, you might be checking out this website here called User Interviews, and maybe you're wondering, is this legit? Okay, can you make money from this website? How much money can you earn? We're gonna check it out today. Now, at any time, if you want to get my favorite way to get to $5,000 to $10,000 a month, 100% from home, just click the link below, and I'll share with you my favorite strategy. Now, on this channel, I've reviewed literally hundreds and hundreds of different strategies online to make money. Some of them are really good, some of them are so-so. A lot of them, though, are big waste of time. Okay, so let's find out how good User Interviews is. Is this a good use of your time, or maybe there are better ways to make money online out there? All right, now what is User Interviews? User Interviews is a very cool, very legit global user testing and research interview panel. All right, so basically companies will come to User Interview and pay them to find people to basically go through, test their products to see whether they're good for the market. That's essentially what it is, right? So any company like Adobe, Spotify, Pinterest, Intuit, Amazon, for example, could come here and find normal everyday people from all over the world to test their products before they actually launch it out in the market, right? But if you wanted to actually become one of these testers, you can, which is very cool. So they call them participants. You can come to the top here, right? Click this down, and then you can see here where you can browse online studies. You can learn more about participating. You can look through the FAQ. So let's check out, learn more about participating, right? When you do that, you're gonna land on this page, and they will basically break it down a little bit more about how this really works, right? And we'll talk about how much you actually get paid in a second. Now, the first thing is you need to create your profile. Very easy. Make sure that when you create your profile, you complete all of the information so that they can match you to the right jobs properly, all right? Because you do have to apply and you do have to be relevant for that particular job. Otherwise, you're not going to get access to the study. The second thing is you need to look through the studies and apply manually to all of the studies that you think that you're relevant for, all right? So many of the applications can be completed in under a minute, but please understand that it does take a little bit of time for you to fill out the application, because in every study, they're looking for a specific type of group of people, right? So for example, if they're doing a study on washing machines, or if they're doing a study on irons, but you don't own that washing machine or iron, right? Or don't play that particular sport, then you're not going to be able to take part in that particular study. Okay, so you just have to be aware of that. All right, number 3, show up and get paid. Okay, once you approve and sign up for a session that works for you, complete the session and you'll get paid within a few days. We'll talk about how much you get paid and how you're going to get paid in a second. Okay, so it's pretty easy, right? So some really good reviews here, and the nice thing that I like about User Interviews is they have a lot of different types of things that you can apply for. All right, now just to maximize how often you get picked for a study, what to expect, that kind of thing, I recommend that you come to participants and basically go down to learn more about participating, learn more about participating, or the FAQ. Okay, and then you'll land on this section right here. All right, and there's a lot of resources like video screening tips and what to expect. Learn how and when incentive payments are distributed, right? Can you propose an alternative time for your session? Things like that, right? Cancel, reschedule a session, you've not been picked for a study yet. These are really good articles for you to go into, and I highly recommend that you do that. Now, to find an actual job, right, or study, what you do is you come here to participants and click on Browse Online Studies. Once you do that, you're gonna land on this page. Okay, now there are a few different formats that you can take part in. You can take part in an in-person interview, you can do one over the phone, you can do one online, you can do a one-on-one interview, you can do a focus group, you can do a multi-day study, you can do an unmoderated task, which means that you can do it at any time. Okay, so depending on what kind of format or study you decide to take part in will depend on how much money you get paid. So obviously for the unmoderated tasks, they will generally pay less because it's fully automated and it doesn't require them to have some sort of interviewer or moderator to interview you. All right, so one-on-one interview, they pay quite a lot, right? And in person, obviously, because you have to show up and they need a panel that they have to organize and all that kind of stuff, they have to book a space. So these kinds will pay quite a lot of money, in the hundreds. All right, but they're a lot more rare, right? They're not as common as, for example, the online ones or the unmoderated tasks. So let's take a look. Okay, so the first one here, it says, look, seeking people who own or run a business for discussion on apps and tools that they use. Okay, now this one's not bad. It pays $50. I'm just gonna go in, right? Now you can only take part in this if you run a business. right? So if you don't run a business, if you're an employee right now, you obviously can't take part in this particular study because you're not going to use any of these work apps for your business. Does that make sense, right? So please make sure that you only apply for stuff that you are really relevant for. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time and you're wasting user interviews time as well, right? So it's a 25-minute study. It's unmoderated, and they're going to give you a $50 Visa gift card. That's not bad. Think about it. If you own a business, right, and you answer this online, 25 minutes of your time, you get 50 bucks. That's like, $25 an hour payment rate. It's really, really good, okay? Now let's see what else there is, okay? So Web3 Frontier Perspectives of UAE Startup Pioneers. I think this one will require a very specific type of person. So most people won't be able to apply for that, right? We want to learn about your digital marketing efforts. Are you part of a small business and you're marketing digitally? If you are, you can apply for this job. Not bad. 60 minutes, $75. If you don't, market online for a business, then you can't take part in this, right? $75, choice of dozens of digital gift cards. Now this one pays a bit less. Still pretty good though. It's $75 per hour, but this is a 1 hour one-on-one interview. Okay, so this one might be a little bit more difficult. Look at this. The researcher may follow up via message, email, or phone to confirm if you're fit for the study. Be sure to answer. This one will be an interview, computer with webcam, right? So this one will be a lot more difficult, I think, to get into because it's a one-on-one interview. So they're going to be a lot more picky with the type of person who gets this. But if you are relevant, $75 worth of digital gift cards, not bad. Okay, we'll talk about what the digital gift cards mean in a second, right? This one, research study of the Sense-I diagnostic tool using visual tasks, blah, 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 blah. $100 one day. This is an entire day, but you have to be based in Austin, Texas, right? At the researcher's location. So there's a few things here. Are you based in Austin, Texas? Okay. Look, there are a few things that you have to require. Let me see. Okay. Attend a 30 to 45 minute virtual teleconference with the study coordinator to determine if you're eligible for the study. So a lot of people can apply, but not everybody is going to be eligible, right? So you have to think about this before you really apply for something like this, because chances are that it's going to be pretty difficult. Like you might attend the 45-minute virtual teleconference, and then they realize that you're not relevant for this particular study. So you've just wasted 45 minutes. Does that make sense? And you also have to be based in Austin, Texas, okay? Very, very important. So you have to understand that there are a few different things that you have to be, relevant for, but just make sure that you go through them properly, okay? But some of these are pretty good, like research study right here. Very, very basic. $10, 10 minutes. We're looking for feedback on a product that we're building. Device is a smartphone. It's an unmoderated task. Your audio, video, and screen will be recorded during the session. So you have to feel comfortable with doing a video like this, okay, where you're recording your screen, you're talking as you're doing the video, as you're doing your recording. If you're not comfortable with this kind of situation, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to participate in a lot of their studies, unfortunately, okay? But if you are, then it's pretty cool. Now, how do you get paid? All right. Well, there's a few different ways you get paid. They work with a payout provider called Tremendous. Okay. Everything is virtual. All right. So virtual Visa, and then a lot of gift cards, right? Amazon, Walmart, Starbucks, Apple, DoorDash, Nike, Old Navy, Nintendo, Airbnb. Pretty cool. But the one that I like the most here is the virtual Visa. Now, they do not pay out through PayPal. All right. But a virtual Visa card is just as good as virtual PayPal. They give you like a code, and then you can use a virtual Visa to buy things online. Unfortunately, you cannot use virtual Visa as cash, as in it's not going to be physical cash, so you can't give the virtual Visa to someone, if you know what I mean. But it's pretty much as good as cash if you're buying something on the internet, all right, which is pretty cool. All right, so how much money can you make from user interviews? All right, now I have reviewed a lot of different product testing, research interview style kind of companies and websites. I like user interviews a lot, right, for a lot of reasons. Number one, they're international. Number two, they offer a lot of different study formats, okay? Unmoderated, in-person, one-on-one, over the phone, focus group, multi-day, that kind of thing, which I think is really cool. They've got a lot of different payment options. So as in, some can be really cheap, like $10, but some of them can be really good, like $50. Some of them can be a lot more, $100. I've even seen $400. Look at this, $300 research study, okay? But this is a one-on-one interview. So you have to understand that the ones that are that they pay out a lot more, $300 for 60 minutes, the chances that you'll actually qualify for that is pretty slim. Okay, so it's going to be a lot easier to qualify for the $10 one, for the $25, for the $50 one. This one really depends on where you're located and whether you really qualify for that particular interview or that study. And you also have to probably do a pre-qualification interview before you qualify for the real thing. So it's quite time consuming, all right? But there are opportunities for you to make quite a bit of money there, right? So I would say, look, it depends on how many of these you actually qualify for, and you have to be pretty proactive, and you have to, I would spend, definitely at least half an hour to an hour applying for as many studies as you can, so that you can qualify for more studies, right? But the nice thing is that user interviews seems to have quite a lot of studies that you can apply for, right? So I would say realistically, if you were to do, one study a day, that's not bad. You might be able to make $10 to, I would say, $30 to $50 a day if you're really working hard at grinding on this platform. Apply to as many jobs as you can, apply to as many studies as you can, and hopefully you get into quite a few. So it's a lot about, applying and then doing it, applying and then doing it. But I would say that this is better than maybe some of these product testing websites like User Testing or Testing.io, because Test.io and User Testing, they only have tests available when they have tests available. So that means you might have only one test every couple of days, or maybe one test a week that you can actually do. But the nice thing with user interviews, I think they have a lot more tests that they have available, okay? Which means that there's more opportunities for you to make money. Now, this doesn't mean that you can replace a full-time job necessarily, because if you're doing one test, a day, or one test every couple of days, that's a lot more realistic, okay? If you're really working hard on this website, then maybe you're only making, let's just say $30 or $40 a day, right? Now, that's not going to replace your full-time income necessarily, but it's a good additional source of income, I would say, right? So it's not going to make you rich, you can't travel the world, nothing like that. But I think realistically, you can make a decent amount of money on the side with user interviews, which is pretty cool, all right? So if you want to check it out, userinterviews.com, and you can just go ahead and sign up as a participant right here, and go ahead and scan the jobs and get started that way. I hope you enjoyed this one. I think this is a really, really cool one that you can try from pretty much anywhere in the world. Now, if you're watching this video right now, maybe you are looking for a way to generate some big income online. Right now, on this channel, I've reviewed literally hundreds and hundreds of different online strategies to make money. Some of them really good, some of them so-so. A lot of them, though, are not that great. User interviews is a pretty good one, right? But out of all of them, I still think that there's one business model where an absolute beginner has their best chance of going from $0 to $5,000 to $10,000 and much, much more a month, depending on how much effort you put into the strategy. And if you would like to check out the strategy for free, I've got a free masterclass that shows you how to do this step by step. Just click the link below and I'll share that masterclass with you if you would like, all right? I hope you enjoyed this review of user interviews, and I hope to see you on another video review. Take care.